Welcome to Grade Pending, the show where we watch movies, television shows, sometimes listen to music and give our, review of the piece of content. Today we'll be talking about the Disney Plus series Agatha All Along. And the full season in its entirety just ended. We will be talking about that today, and of course, to talk about it, we have to talk about it. So there will be spoilers. So if you have not watched it yet, go check it out first. Come back, watch us later. And you know how we do it. We got our unique grading system. Awesome, which is the top of the top, the cream of the crop, the best of the best. We got dope, which is very good, not perfect, not the bestest, but hey, it's a good show, good piece of entertainment. We got meh, which basically is all right, or watched it once, not trying to watch it no more. And then we got straight trash. With I'm never watching it again. It was hot garbage. Get this out my face. Why did I spend money on this? However you feel about it. All right. That we do, and we give our individual reviews, and then we come back and talk about it as a community, or in this case, as a coven, I guess. Um,
I
yeah.
like that.
So, yeah, of course you would. So let's get into the individual reviews.
So Agatha all along. I feel like this has been one of the better shows that we've seen in a while from the MCU, to be quite frank. Although a lot of people are not watching it, I think they're missing out right now. Hopefully people are just waiting to binge it. But I think this one is kind of up there, kind of like Loki, similar vibes, like really, really good writing, I must say. There was a lot of details in this time around in this show that I did pick up on. So I really enjoyed that. Like I said, the writing was pretty good. The casting was great. Like Rio, I thought that character was great. Agatha, she always does such a thing. Although I didn't like her final look a little bit too much, but we'll let that one slide. But overall, I would say the show was very enjoyable. Like I said, much better showing than the last few things that they've put out there. So I don't want to say awesome, but I would say somewhere in between dope and awesome. Just like right in the borderline to awesome.
Yeah, Agatha all along. I think the build up was great, even from a year ago where the titles kept changing, and then we found out that was Agatha manipulating the titles the whole way along. Props to Disney for that. Like Ben said, one of the better MCU projects we've seen come along in a very long time. Um, I think I went into it not expecting it to be that good, and I think every episode built very, very, very well. Down to the smallest details of the costume designs, and the little Easter eggs throughout the show, which I absolutely love. I'm gonna go with awesome on this one, just on the sheer fact that the acting was top notch, the character build was great, and even though we knew who the characters were, it still added more punch to it as the series grew. So I'm gonna rock with awesome on this one because for a Marvel show, it's right up there with some of the better ones from the early MCU days.
Um, well, you already know me. I'm gonna give it a fucking awesome. I loved it from beginning to end. I feel like once it finished, I actually watched it like two more times because it was so good. I feel the casting was great, the makeup was great. Um, just the storyline itself was again, it wasn't dull, and I really enjoyed it. And funny enough, it was something that my son also enjoyed watching with me. And like I said, it was incredible and definitely for me, top three, up there with WandaVision, Loki. Agatha is definitely for me top three for sure. It's one of the Disney shows that I guess I've rewatched because I've enjoyed it so much. So
Yeah, Agatha all along. Basically went into it with low expectations. It seemed like one of those, cash grab kind of things. People enjoyed her character in WandaVision, and so it was like, oh, we can continue that. And especially when they first the first episode when they did the Witches Road song, I was like, see, another reason for her to sing a song because Catherine Hahn can sing, and they just wanted to get her to sing and make another song because the Agatha All Along song was a hit on Billboard. So I was like, here we go again. But as the show went on, as the episodes went on, and at the ending when you found out the song actually had a part, it was a part of the plot. I thought that was definitely well done. The way that they flipped the, the song. Um, for one character was kind of like a ritual and a protection spell, and then also found out the original version of the song was from Agatha's son. I thought that was the song wasn't just thrown in; it actually was part of the plot and the dialogue. And I thought a lot of the reveal and mystery of it all played out very well. So I think they did a very good job with the writing. Um, Lilia's story arc was very well done with the whole time jumping thing and how they showed it as well was very very good. Not quite awesome for me. I think they dropped the ball on a few things. Jennifer Kale's storyline was really kind of just thrown in there, and not really. She didn't really get a full flashback or a full, just Agatha, banned her powers, and it was like no explanation when, why. It just kind of thrown in. And I also feel like we still got a lot more questions that weren't answered. So dope, high dope, borderline awesome, but I definitely did enjoy it, and it was better than I expected it would be. So. Michelle, of course, start with you. What did you love best about the show?
Well, like I said, the storyline I think was great. Like how the character build up was, to me, I really enjoyed it. I feel that a lot of people didn't know where she derived from, which it was funny because I was talking to one of my boys about, like, they're like, oh, like they just pulled Agatha from like Wanda, and I was like, actually, her first appearance was in Fantastic Four. I said, and that's where she kind of like came about to be, and they just how they, you know, I don't know if this is where they're gonna maybe twine her into like the whole Fantastic Four as well. Um, but again, like I said, just the storyline was enjoyable. The singing was great. My son is obsessed with the song. Like I cannot get him. Like he'll hum it every morning going to school, and I'm just like, oh my lord! Like not him sounding like he's doing an enchantment as he's walking to school. But I was like, whatever. You know me, I love the witchy shit. I'm all about it. Halloween is life.
Clearly.
But clearly, but just overall, like I said, I felt like they made you connect to each character, which was to me was great. I feel like Agatha has always been painted as this like cruel, like heartless person, and just to kind of see like more of a like humanized side of her, like like her losing her son, and like the storyline of how she lost her son, and it just, like I said, it was great. I loved it. I feel like the lady who played Mrs. Hart, I like adore her. I think she's like the cutest thing ever. I was so sad when she died. I was like, no. I was like, she was adorable, but like I said, it was fantastic. Rio, like, again, killed it. I think for me it was also the aspect more on the makeup artistry side. Like I feel like that end scene when they kind of show her skull face, like that was not even CGI. Like that was all prosthetic makeup, and I'm just like, oh, that's freaking amazing. And but like I said, it was just, I feel like going into the show, I didn't have high expectations, but again, because I'm a fanatic of the aesthetic, I was like, oh, it might be a good show. And just kind of seeing how they kind of brought, Billy back, and and he's looking for Tommy, like all of it just kind of was like great. The whole the sigil thing, then they mentioned Mephisto, and it just leaves a lot of like questions open in a sense to kind of like, okay, what's gonna happen next? Clearly she's gonna get a season 2 because it for me it ended on a cliffhanger in a sense.
Well, I don't think she's gonna get a season 2 because her story's kind of done.
It's all no, but they said they were gonna look for Tommy, so yeah,
right.
It's a season 2.
But it wouldn't be Agatha season 2. It'd probably be Billy's story or
Billy,
right. But I feel like I don't know. They could probably intertwine it into something. I don't know, but I would hope so. I mean, I felt that it would be leading into season 2.
Yeah, I would think hope they've already planned. They've already planned. Vision Quest is the next show in this they call trilogy. So I would gather at some point within their Vision is going to meet his boys, both his sons. And I opened the question to all three of you guys. Does Wanda come back?
Oh, absolutely. Like without a doubt. Like
I don't
hands
know.
down.
Yeah, I don't know if she'll come back in that show, but she's coming back
She's
eventually.
coming back. She's definitely coming back.
Got you. So yeah, I mean, Vision, like I said, Vision Quest is what they said is slated to be the third part of this trilogy. So we got to find out where Vision has been since he lost all his color. Uh, and now, like I said, one of his sons is back, and then they got to find the other son who now is in a new person's body, and he has to figure out what's going on in his world. Like, how did I get here? What's happening? Who am I? Same thing that Billy went through and took 3 years to actually find out. So now Billy got to find Tommy and explain to him this weird story. Like, okay, so boom, so this robot and this witch made us, right? And now he's like, trust me, this really happened.
Just go with it. Just go with it.
Yeah, just correct. Just roll with me here. So we came back to life, I thought it was funny though seeing the neighbors at the end when the sky went green and everything, and they're like, "Oh shit, here we go again."
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
if I'm them, I'm leaving. I'm moving out of Westview. I'm done with this town.
Yeah, but what if the rent is cheap? Like, why would you want to leave?
Now you know why the rent is cheap because
I mean, they're living in houses, so they don't want to give up that house, bro.
man, now I'm putting it on the market. I'm out of here. Westview is a dangerous place to be. Like, um, yeah, like I said, the biggest thing I thought it felt like it was gonna be a cash grab kind of thing or Agatha's back, but I definitely think they took their time and the writing was definitely good
Yeah.
on the show. Um, I
Yeah,
just feel
very
like I
clever.
said, they rushed the Jennifer Kale character story a little bit. She's the only survivor. Her Agatha taking her power 100 years ago. We didn't see it. Everything else we kind of saw. We kind of got a backstory, more information. For that, it was just like, oh, that was you. Oops. And it was
Yeah,
kind of,
they kind of mentioned it loosely. It was her. She
yeah,
bounded her
yeah.
by
It
request
was
from the
just thrown
guy.
in there.
Yeah,
And
it
she's
was
the
by
only
request.
survivor.
Yeah,
Do we see her again? Do you
I
think we
think
see her
so.
So,
again?
so the reason, so I'll push back on Jennifer Kale and the reason why they didn't elaborate her, because it turns out in the comics she's Ghost Rider's cousin. So we're
Still.
gonna see her later on be the linchpin between Ghost Rider and the MCU, bringing the Ghost Rider through.
Yeah,
So
I don't
That's
think she's
why
gonna
we
disappear.
didn't get a deep dive on her because we're gonna get it, but
mhm.
when it's time to introduce Ghost Rider.
Maybe. I mean,
Okay.
because they don't always follow exactly to the comics, so it's possible that they go that route. But she was alive 100 years ago and stuff. So I don't think they're gonna be first cousins. So you know what I'm saying. So it might be some distant cousins, but I can see it happening. But still, like I said, everybody else kind of got a flashback. Like to me, the best episode was what was her name, Lilia. Um,
Lila, yeah.
her backstory with her time jumping and how it all tied up, and I
Yeah.
thought she got the best backstory and resolution, and I think that
It was
they
like
took the
full
most time.
closure for her in a sense.
Yeah, and her life
Yeah.
literally was full circle.
Yeah.
Because she said, in the middle it kind of stopped, but it was the beginning when she was younger, when it first was a little crazy. Now it started up again because that's the end, and as she kept going to the end and back and stuff. So I think they definitely that episode, the writing was all on point. I think my only issue with that was when she warned Agatha about calling her a coward, and it was like it didn't really pay off in that episode. She was like, oh, when she calls you a coward, duck, and then she did it. And it was just like, okay. She told you to do it, like okay, but it didn't really have that moment of oh I remember what she told me. It was like
Right.
but how do you feel about kind of the show kind of ending on episode 8 and episode 9 kind of being like an epilogue? How did that play out to you watching it?
For me, I liked it. I think it paid homage to Agatha because we really didn't see her story throughout the
Hmm.
episodes, right? We touched on all these other characters and I heard bits and pieces. To give her that final like send off episode, like this is why she does it. And I love that episode because the song like grew as the episode went further down.
Hmm.
It was down the road. It wasn't even down the road. It was something else.
Right.
Um, you
The
know,
whiny road.
the whiny road, yeah. And
Yeah.
then by the time we got to the end, like the version that we hear is completely different from what it started out as, what it was
Hmm.
meant to be. I think Disney paid her homage because we don't really get that episode with any of the series we see the characters develop early in their backstories and then pull on to the new story. So for it to go backwards and say, "Hey, this is what got her to where she's at," um, was dope to me, and just paid her that respect as a character.
Yeah, not only that, I feel like that actually tied the whole writing down because like it showed so many things that you didn't think about at first. Like again, the winding road, you thought that was a real thing that they were going through, and as it turns out, it's just Billy creating this kind of like his mom did the whole Westville thing. So like I said, the writing on this show was extremely clever. I really love the writing. Like, they did a lot of these tiebacks and all this stuff. Like even when Agatha, when Billy pushes her into that tar pit and she gets out and she's like, yeah, just like Maximoff, making things more dramatic than you need to. When you see that at the end, then you get it. You're like, oh yeah, yeah, because he just made this whole thing up for his own benefit, trying to deal with whatever he wanted to get at the outcome. And yeah, like I said, very clever writing. Like they did a lot of tiebacks, even to WandaVision, because you can see the parallels. Wanda did the same thing when she was struggling, dealing with her life. Billy did the same thing, struggling, trying to find out what's happening with him and his brother. So they acted the exact same way. And even in some of the things, like if you remember back then, when Agatha had killed the dog and Billy had asked Wanda, can you just bring him back to life? Like she's like, no, we can't do that. But he found a way to do it because he just brought himself back to life. So, and that's another thing. Like they basically incorporated that power, like because he got Tommy a body now. You know, he found that boy that was being drowned, and he got him a body. So like he obviously has that. So I wouldn't be surprised that eventually he's the one that gets a body for somebody else, like maybe Agatha or even Wanda. But who knows? But the writing was very clever. That's really what I liked about it myself personally. I think the writing was really well done. A lot of layers to it. Like if you could really examine it, like make a report on it. Is really good stuff. Like things that you don't think about. But for me, just the only thing that I didn't like too much, but I guess I understand because it's Disney. Like I think they could have just gone a little bit further, a little bit darker. Some parts were a little bit campy for me, but other than that, I think the it was great. But like I said, just because
No,
of with the witches thing and all that stuff, I think they could have actually gone a little bit darker or a little bit more serious tone on some things. But it was a lot of fun, campy things, particularly in the trials, they getting new clothes and all that stuff. It was fun and all, like I said, but to me, really, the writing was just really what made this show.
I think it was a missed opportunity with the children of the
hmm
Salem Seven or whatever. I think that's where it could have gotten darker. But then the way they just kind of killed them off before we really seen them do anything. I would have loved to see that backstory of, you know, how the children found out that Agatha killed their moms and where they got their power and stuff from to turn into animals and things and how they were hunting her down. I think that in itself was where it could have gotten darker, and it really didn't. They didn't really get a chance to, you know, attack. They were scary. You know, the way they kind of walked up backwards with their
Yeah,
head leaning and kind of
that's what I
turned.
was
they
hoping,
were all like
particularly.
discontorted and stuff. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
boy.
particularly because it was like Halloween time. I really thought there would at least a couple of episodes go a little bit like try and be scary, but you know, it's
Right.
Disney.
Yeah.
Can't do too
Yeah.
much. I admit they probably wasted all their money on the butt shot. So
I mean, she looked fantastic. I'm gonna say it for what it is. Like she looked amazing for a woman her
I
age.
know,
I was
yeah.
like,
No, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying like that was all their credit. They're like, all right, we let you push that boundary. That's it. You're done. But no, it was good. It was good. I really did enjoy the show. But
hmm
like I said, I wish little things they could have tweaked it. But overall, I think it was still great.
Um, what else? Yeah, like I said, I think it's the Salem Seven. I wanted to see them at least put up a fight. I'd like to see that. Um,
I'm sorry, guys.
I think that was a missed opportunity there with those guys. But other than that, yeah, definitely one of the top. I would say top five of the Disney Plus Marvel shows. Um, and speaking of which, now Disney Plus released their trailer for what's to come. You know, so we got Daredevil, Ironheart. We got a couple animated joints. We got season 3 of What If coming next month. We
And the
got
zombie.
Spider Man. We got the Marvel Zombies. So which one out of those are you guys most looking forward to? I think I know
I
the
like
answer.
What If.
Hmm.
I said I'm looking forward towards What If.
Okay.
Just because like I just like how it just changes things. Like it just literally leaves everything up in the air, just kind of like like what is coming next type of situation. So I think that's the one that I'm looking forward towards the most.
Hmm.
Um, but I guess other than that, it's just a matter of waiting and seeing, when the shows come about.
Yeah, no, I feel like the Daredevil one's intriguing to me because I just don't know how they're gonna do it because they say it was gonna be along the lines as the Netflix one. The Netflix one was a brutal show, so I just don't know how far they would take it, particularly for a Disney show.
They said they're going. It's going to be
They're
R
going,
rated.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they said they're going, but you never know what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? It could just be another butt shot or something, and they went for it. You
Well, no,
know?
I think because with Echo was R rated. It has some blood and stuff. So I think they're gonna
It
put that
had
little
some blood.
disclaimer and that warning in the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah,
Because remember they sent out the thing you had to tweak the settings in your Disney Plus
Setting,
app
yeah,
yeah.
to see
yeah.
it. So they're like, please hide the children. They shouldn't be seeing this. This is
Well,
Disney. Mickey Mouse wouldn't let that happen. Oh my
hopefully.
God. You know.
Hopefully they do, because like
Yeah.
and the Netflix one was a nice, gritty
Oh
show,
yeah.
like, and so I would love them to keep, at least try to keep it in that line, because
Mhm.
Daredevil was a dark character,
Mhm.
very
Mhm.
complex character, and then if you throw in the Punisher in there and all that other
Mhm.
stuff,
And
they're
he's in
very,
it. We
yeah,
saw
and they're
I
him
mean,
very
I just feel
in
like
the
complex.
I
trailer.
mean, regardless, I feel like they are kind of pushing, their limits with certain things, like certain boundaries. I feel like they are pushing it in the sense that they want to see like what kind of audience they capture and stuff, So
Which is why
I
they
mean, I'm here
also
for it,
they
So
also in that trailer they showed Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be on Disney Plus
yeah,
as well, so that's going to be R rated. We all saw that; it's kind of bloody and stuff too. So they're letting Disney's they going there,
They're
showing some
trying to be
blood, showing some
adults.
violence. So I expect, and again to your point, it might not be as gruesome as the Netflix show was, but I think you're gonna see some blood, you're gonna see some punches that actually hit and leave some bruises and things. So I think they're gonna go there. And also in Ironheart, we're rumored to get Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto. He's rumored to be playing that character in there. They still haven't shown him or officially said that's true, but that's what the rumor was so far to that. So we might get a little couple more answers and things to what his connection might be to Agatha and maybe Rio and some other things too that potential could pop up in there as well. So stuff is tying together. And of course also with Ironheart and Billy and Tommy, we're getting closer to the Young Avengers. So that's something also to look forward to. Do you think they make the Young Avengers a movie or a series on
I mean,
Disney
I
Plus?
feel like it would be better off as a series in a sense. That's just my opinion, but
It's going to be a movie. I think it's going to be a very slow build, though, because, I
Right.
mean, we went through years of having Chris Evans and, Chris Helmsworth and Robert Downey Jr., and then, the world stopped and we lost like 4 years of movie making. So I think they're going to take their sweet ass time, build these
Mm-hmm.
characters. I mean, we've seen, what, 10 to 15 Young Avengers already in the
Mm-hmm.
last 4 years? So they're
yeah.
coming. They're
Yeah,
going to be coming. It's not going to be a rush, though.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think they're gonna build up the characters in the Disney shows and then probably just dump them all in the movie once they get them together for whatever reason they
Yeah,
come
that
up
makes
with.
sense.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Maybe they revisit Kang at a later point, and Kang's the reason why they got to come together.
Although
Right.
I am disappointed they suspended Blade indefinitely after
They're
Yes,
like
I saw
breaking that
that.
after
line,
10
man.
rewrites. After
Yeah.
10 rewrites.
They just can't figure out what direction they want to go
Oh yeah,
with that movie. And Disney's blaming Mahershala Ali. Mahershala Ali's kind of being quiet, but people are saying he's blaming Disney. So it's like, because they gave him a lot of power. He came off his second Oscar, and they were like, hey, the movie's yours, whatever you want it to be. But we got this director, this writer. He said, I don't want that writer. I said, okay, he's gone. I don't want that director. Okay, they're gone. So it's like,
Yeah,
it's
it's been a
been
lot of
redone. Even
yeah.
even the dude who did X-Men '97, Bo DeMaio, who we don't know, he went through some things. They had him help with some writing too, and then they were like, "Oh, we'll just get this creep out of here." So that
They're like, hold
happened.
up, he's sending text, hold on.
I
Yeah.
just find it funny that
So he was like, "We
Deadpool
need more
Wolverine.
leather and bondage scenes." They were like, "Okay, you
Yeah,
got to go. You got to
I think
go."
you're right. In Deadpool Wolverine, there's only one, and that's holding true so far.
Yeah, yeah. But there's actually two. People forget about the TV show with Sticky Fingers from Onyx. So there's been two Blades, even though people want to forget that. No, no,
I, for-
no.
That will get
I
carried over to the MCU. It didn't, right?
It could. He could come to the. I mean, it was technically, it was a spinoff from the movies. So,
bro, I don't even remember that.
see, nobody. I
No,
think it
for
was
real,
on like,
I'm like thinking back. I was like,
yeah. Look
I
it
don't
up.
recall that at all.
Look it
So
up. Sticky Fingers played Blade. I think it was a USA series.
That's
So
probably
it came right
why.
that
after
sounds
Raw.
familiar. Okay, that sounds a little bit more familiar.
When
Okay,
Monday Night Raw went off, the show came on. If you still want to stay up,
that makes more sense. Yeah. Okay.
so, so there's been two Blades. So Wesley, gotta get your math right. It
That's
counts.
funny. I guess
You
no, Wesley's not counting it. He's like that. That never
Yeah,
happened.
Never
it
happened.
happened. Unfortunately, it happened. Somebody greenlit it. I think it only had like one season though, so I don't think it, really
It must
lasted
have been
that
bad,
long.
cause bro, I don't remember that at all.
Look it up. It was there.
I vaguely recall it just because you said after Monday Night Raw. Because I mean, I obviously I watch wrestling, so it's the only
Yeah,
reason why I was like,
See,
wait, I
that's why I
remember.
wouldn't know. That's why I wouldn't know, because I don't watch wrestling. I wouldn't
yeah.
have seen
Nah, it was there.
that.
It was there. But yeah, we can leave it there for now. And we'll probably be back again to talk about the Penguin series on Max. Disney Plus and HBO Max when it was HBO Max been in competition, so they had two series going at the same time. So next week is the finale for the Penguin. We'll see how we feel about that one. And then, like I said, a lot more stuff. Like you mentioned, there was a pause when the COVID happened and the strikes and things happened. Now they're all catching up, so we got a lot of movies and things to talk about. Otto wasn't here for this episode because he was watching some movie. He's always watching a movie, so I got to get him to recap a bunch of the movies that we missed that we didn't talk about from the summer on because he sees them all. So we'll get him to do that. So we're gonna try to get some more great pending episodes to come through for the holidays. Some movies dropping, and we'll try to catch up on all of those. Have you guys seen Venom: The Last Dance?
No.
Not yet.
Yeah, I
Bro,
think that's the general
I heard it was
consensus.
terrible, so
I don't know.
I'm.
I can't get into it. Like I remember watching the first one and I can barely remember pieces of it. I
Yeah,
know I watched the second one, but
I don't think
blank.
nobody went to see it because
Yeah.
the box office shows that nobody really went. And I was actually interested. The trailer had me interested, but then when it came out, I was just
No,
like,
I thought it did well in theaters, no?
no,
Didn't it break like 90?
no, it did pretty bad. I think
Really?
it was the
It
lowest
flopped.
opening
I think it
weekend.
definitely
Yeah,
flopped.
of all three, I think it was the lowest one. Yeah,
Get out of here. I
yeah.
heard otherwise.
So
Yeah, no,
we
I heard
might,
it was terrible, terrible. So I was just like, yeah, I'm not
I'm
gonna
gonna
waste.
have to look that
Yeah,
up.
for the sake of content, we might all just watch it and
I
just
mean, eventually.
maybe we record
once it's
a
free on the
live
platform, I'll
reaction.
watch it when it's free on the
Just
platform.
just like eventually I'll see that Joker one, the last one, because I
Yeah, I
heard it
definitely
was
didn't want to see
horrible.
that when they said it was a musical and stuff. I was not
Yeah, I'm not
interested
gonna
in
pay
it.
for it like that. So I'm
I
gonna wait
don't
for
know.
that to
I
come
felt
up.
different about that. I feel like you gotta go with an. I enjoyed it, but I
Of
feel
course you
like
do.
I went in knowing it was a musical, so that's why
Right.
I wasn't so judgmental about it.
Oh no, they said
See,
that
I
they
knew it was
said
a
it was
No,
musical.
because there was a lot of people when I went to go see it. They were
they
like,
don't pay
"Oh, they're like,
attention.
I
No,
didn't know it
no,
was a
no.
musical."
They
So
said it was a musical
They
from
definitely
Jump.
said it was gonna be a
Yeah,
musical.
they
They
said it
said
was a
that
musical from
everywhere.
Jump, and that's why I was like, I don't know about that. I don't think I'm because I'm not
Yeah, I
into
knew that
musicals.
off the rip. That it, like,
There's only been a few musicals I've seen, and the last one I can remember is probably like La La Land, and that I thought that one was good,
and
but
I think that's what they was trying to recreate, like a La La Land for the
yeah,
Joker universe, and it was just
but
like,
yeah, that's
nah,
not for me, man. When they have dialogue and then they just break into singing, like, nah,
yeah.
I'm good. I'm
Yeah, I
good.
never was a fan of musicals. My sister always watched like Grease
Dude,
and Bye
to this
Bye
day I haven't seen
Birdie
the
and West
damn
Side
Grease thing.
Story. And as I was young, I was always like, yo, how do they all know the words and the dance routine? Like they just met. Like this person's new to the school, but all of a sudden
that's
everybody knows the
hilarious.
And they're
dance. Right?
choreographed.
Like how do they know the dance? They just met each other. So
I remember trying to watch West Side Story, and I was like, "What? This is a music? Hell no!" I was like,
I've
"Nope,
seen them
nope."
all. My sister, she put them
I
on,
couldn't
and I
take it
had to watch
serious.
them. So
I don't
I've
know.
seen them all.
I can't take musicals serious.
Yeah.
That's the thing, I guess.
But as I got older, I appreciated some, um, and some plays and stuff. But when I was younger, my sister just forced me to watch them, so it wasn't. It was just out of rebellion. I didn't like it, but it didn't make sense to me. How do they know the dance? How do they know the song?
That's hilarious.
I think that's why I didn't mind so
And
much with
who's
La La
playing the
Land.
music? Where's the orchestra? Where's the
See, that's
band?
why I think La La Land worked a little bit because he was a musician, and then basically the interactions were between her and him, and the sort
Right.
of musical part of it. So I was like, all
Yeah.
right, that's fine. I'll live with it.
Yeah. So once that's streaming, we'll probably watch it and then give a review on that. Same thing for Venom. Whenever
And then
that
y'all seen that
drops.
Or
Terrifier thing?
That was
Yeah.
fantastic.
That's not my cup of tea.
not my cup of tea
Again.
either.
Yeah.
It was
I haven't
fantastic.
seen the last one, but I saw
Nope.
the first two. I
Yeah.
don't understand why people are afraid of that. That's like so campy.
I'm not even afraid. I'm
It's
not a
just
fan of those
it's
movies.
yeah,
Like,
it's just
I
a
mean, it
gory
was
music.
very grotesque in a
It's
sense. I
it's
feel like
just
if
a
you
gory
don't
movie.
have
It's a
the
gory
stomach
movie.
for
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
I don't recommend it. I mean, I
Yeah,
caught
that's
myself laughing
yeah.
during certain
So
parts, and I'm like, not
we'll
me looking like a psychopath laughing at this movie,
yeah,
but
Nah,
I did have a
we'll
couple
get
of jump
John,
scares.
we'll get John and Otto back, and they can discuss those movies they seen. Otto definitely seen all of those, so we'll
Yep.
get him to discuss that. But for now, thank you guys for tuning in. Click the button to like, to subscribe, to all that. Y'all know what to do. This is YouTube. You already know what it is, and we'll be back to talk about some more stuff at some point. All right, later.